Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is William Hindman, your host, and this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or they just really screw it up. Hey, guys, this one here comes to us from Buffalo, New York. A captain or a chief, I guess he's in charge of narcotics, so he's a chief in charge of narcotics. He's not uh, the sheriff himself. So this gentleman supposedly was drunker than a skunk. Got in his vehicle that was a county vehicle, hit 7 cars, $60,000 worth of damage. Was at the bar, left the bar, drove down a one-way street, 3 blocks. Um, Hit, like I said, 6 or 7 cars, $60,000 worth of damage. Got a ticket for jaywalking, and I guess his family is very connected in Buffalo, so nothing was done. Yeah, man, this is transparency is at its best. This thin blue line is just absolutely ridiculous. You scumbags out there hold each other's hand. You jerk each other off. You know, it's just, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand what you clowns are doing. And then you can't understand why there's a disconnect between police officers and the public when you act like this. You won't answer for anything. Um, you know, None of the officers gave this clown a breathalyzer because he was connected. His sister in law signed off on the paperwork. It's like, wow, really? So now you guys are being like the mob. Great. Yeah, we said you guys were a bunch of scumbag, thugs that, stick together, and you guys are proving it. It's great. I don't get it. I don't understand. We hire these guys to do a job for us. And don't get me wrong, the narcotics in Buffalo is doing a great job getting fentanyl and guns and stuff off the streets. But at what cost? It's okay for one of your chiefs to get shit faced, drive drunk, hit 7 cars, $60,000 worth of damage that comes out of the taxpayer pockets? What kind of morons are you people in Buffalo? I don't get it. And you guys in Buffalo are okay with this crap? You guys ought to be out there with pitchforks, and torches, because this is ridiculous. One of your own, little boy in blue, and then you surround him and protect him because he drove drunk. Didn't hit 1 car, didn't hit 2 cars, hit 7. $60,000 in damage. That has to come out of the taxpayers' money. Let it come out of this scumbag's money. He has a pension. He's making $200,000 a year. Let him pay for it. Why are we paying for it? He's a scumbag. We're not. We're just stupid enough to hire these morons. Anyway, guys, let's check out the video and you tell me what you think about all this. Hey, do me a favor real quick. We're almost at 2,800 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do this without you. If I didn't have you guys helping me, this wouldn't work because it's just me. There's nobody else here. If you would, hit the bell icon so you don't want to put out a new video, which is almost every single day. The thumbs up, thumbs down says how I do. It's your opinion to me. It's none of my business, but it just tells me how I do. Hit the like and share because it does help my algorithms, and that is important. And hit the subscribe button because we're trying to get to 3,000. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, and leave me a comment. I love comments. Oh, I like reading them. I had some today that's like, you don't know how to spell. Yeah, well, what do you want? I misspelled a word. Woo, the end of the world's coming. You're worried about me misspelling a word, and you have a clown that hit 7 vehicles, $60,000 worth of damage that comes out of taxpayer money, and you're worried because I misspelled a word? Wow. You got problems, man. Let's check this video out, guys, and you tell me what you think.
2 on Your Side investigates. Charlie Specht and Sean Mickey tell us many of the details of the incident have remained secret until now.
Hit and run PDO 456 Prospect, getting multiple calls in.
It eroded my trust, not just in, Erie County, Sheriff's Department, also in the Buffalo Police Department.
I went down the street and hit a few parked cars.
Should any of them tarnish the police department, they should be held accountable.
They will.
As chief of the Erie County Sheriff's Narcotics and Intelligence Unit.
Now, did you hear the sheriff say he will? When? Because right now he's hiding. He's hiding behind everybody. This ball-headed butthead went out and hit 7 vehicles, got drunk, got behind the wheel. 7 vehicles, 60 grand worth of damage. Let this asshole pay for it instead of us as taxpayers.
DJ Granville is front and center when police agencies announce major drug busts in Buffalo.
And I want to commend our chief of narcotics and intelligence, DJ Granville.
But Granville's actions nearly a year ago have clouded his future and that of another member of his politically connected family. They also raise fundamental questions about whether police are given special treatment when they're alleged to have broken the law. Shortly before midnight on April 11th, 2024, Granville was off duty driving his Dodge Ram pickup owned by Erie County. According to a Buffalo police report obtained by 2 on Your Side, Granville was less than a mile from his west side home when he struck 2 vehicles on Jersey Street near the intersection of Prospect Avenue. His vehicle then turned south on Prospect, heading in the wrong direction on a one-way street. The pickup struck a 3rd vehicle, causing that car to hit a 4th vehicle. Granville then continued a block down Prospect before his car struck 2 more vehicles facing northbound. He passed Hudson Street, striking a 7th vehicle before coming to a stop. Buffalo police would not provide us with the full police report for the incident, but 2 on Your Side obtained it from other sources. And it shows the crash was originally classified as a hit and run.
Yeah, my car was underneath this tree.
Mary Wyant's car was parked in front of her Jersey Street apartment when Granville's pickup sideswiped it.
I have a question. If any one of us hit 7 cars and didn't stop and did $60,000 worth of damage, would we be allowed to just get away with it? Would the taxpayers pay for the damage? Interesting.
She says it caused $7,000 worth of damage.
And in that open spot is where my neighbor's car was. Hers had substantially more damage, and so that's when it was really like, oh no, something bad has happened.
A total of 6 drivers have filed legal claims with Erie County seeking reimbursement for repairs. That's expected to cost county taxpayers nearly $60,000. Granville faced no charges related to drunk driving, and nothing indicates he was required to undergo a breathalyzer or field sobriety test. Court records obtained by 2 on Your Side show Granville was instead ticketed for going the wrong way down a one-way street, later reduced to jaywalking and a $150 fine. Do you feel like this sheriff's chief is being treated differently because of who he is? Do you think the average person would be involved in a crash involving 7 vehicles and face no charges?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is one of my main concerns. It's a public safety issue. No one's above the law. If it were a normal citizen who had gone through it and caused this much damage and hit this many cars, that a different action would have been taken.
Yeah, you think? And they say that they're not above the law. Really? If we did this, we'd be in jail. This clown is still on his job. But he's a police officer. So that's different. Why is it different? He's a scumbag. This scumbag that's doing this news report right here won't let the reporters ask him any questions because they're having a news report on getting fentanyl off the street. That's important too. But isn't it just as important about drunk driving?
Any questions, I'd be happy to answer anyone.
Sheriff, how do you respond to these very serious allegations that have been made against your chief of narcotics, Granville?
Charlie, we're here today talking about something that's, really made an impact on Erie County. The people, you saw the search warrants, they were executed throughout Erie County. We took fentanyl, dangerous guns, and so forth. And, you're talking about a car accident. I really don't have a comment on a car accident.
You're not going to comment on your own top official hitting 7 vehicles as a drunk driver. That's not important to you. You need, you've heard me say that if the officers are bad, so's the sheriff. Yeah, you think? You guys ought to think about not putting him back in office.
What would you say to people that look at this drug bust and say, this is great, you're taking drugs off of the street, you're holding people accountable, but when one of your own chiefs allegedly drives drunk, smashes 7 cars, costs taxpayers $60,000 in damages, that person is not being held accountable?
Well, I think you answered the question. It's allegedly until I hear otherwise, which I haven't. It's a car accident, and I don't have a comment on that. Yes.
Can we ask the chief if he was driving drunk that night?
No, you may not.
Granville, who made $214,000 last year, comes from a politically connected family, and he has donated thousands to local political campaigns. Granville's wife, Maria Esquilin Granville, is a member of the Erie County Democratic Committee and has hosted political fundraisers for Democratic Chairman Jeremy Zellner, former Mayor Brown, and acting Mayor Scanlon. His wife's sister is Lucia Esquilin, seen here in 2023 when she became a Buffalo Police lieutenant. Esquilin responded to Granville's car crash and signed off in multiple places at the bottom of the police report. A source with knowledge of the incident said internal investigators with the Buffalo Police are now probing whether Esquilin helped cover up the actions of her brother-in-law last April. Wyant, who confirmed that she was interviewed by internal investigators, says that's all she's looking for.
It's a public safety issue. I think that there needs to be more transparency, communication, honesty when it comes from the people who have sworn to protect and serve you.
Well, Charlie and Sean are here now. This is quite a case that you've managed to bring to life. But what happens now with Granville? I assume he was at the news conference. He's still on the job.
He still is very much on the job. He was at this news conference, and payroll records that we obtained indicate he took more than a month off starting the day after this incident, but he was back on the job at the news conference today. Again, he makes $214,000 per year.
And we should also know that the sheriff's office has not said what happened to that pickup truck Granville was driving. The truck is owned by county taxpayers, and we still don't know whether they had to shell out money to have that paid and repaired.
You ask a lot of interesting questions in that news conference, and I'm sure you're going to stay on it and follow up with the sheriff once he gets more insight as to what happened in that incident.
Tonight we're getting the first look at damage to a county-owned vehicle driven by Erie County Sheriff's Chief DJ Granville last April, and further evidence that suggests Buffalo City government and the Erie County Sheriff's Office may have played roles in a cover-up. Sheriff Garcia downplayed all of this Tuesday and stopped us from asking whether the politically connected Granville, who faced no charges other than jaywalking, was drunk behind the wheel.
And it's allegedly, until I hear otherwise, which I haven't, it's a car accident, and I don't have a comment on that.
So are all these officers lowlifes? That's my question. Because they're covering up for each other. Oh, it was just an accident. 1 car. What's the big deal? It was 7 cars. He was drunk. Because anybody that wasn't drunk wouldn't hit 7 cars. Maybe 1, okay, but not 7. And because of his connections, he wasn't even given a breathalyzer test. Really? I wonder if I can get away with that. Well, I don't drink, though. Damn. Oh, well.
Yes.
Can we ask the chief if he was driving drunk that night?
No, you may not.
But now, records obtained by Two on Your Side Investigates suggest that damages to the taxpayer-owned vehicle were extensive, and there are new questions about whether taxpayers should have to foot the bill. We filed a Freedom of Information request for towing records 1 month ago, and Wednesday, a day after our story, this city provided them. Those records show extensive damage to the front end of the pickup and a right front wheel that was completely off the axle. The city waived a $150 towing fee for the sheriff's vehicle and did not require sheriff's deputies to provide a signature when they retrieved the vehicle, which is against protocol. County taxpayers have already paid $60,000 to reimburse people whose parked cars were struck by Granville's truck. But payroll records indicate Granville was off duty at the time. That's caused County Comptroller Kevin Hardwick to make inquiries about the county's legal responsibility for paying those claims and whether Granville should be required to reimburse taxpayers. Well, neither of the two police agencies involved in the cover-up of a suspicious series of hit-and-run crashes by embattled Sheriff's Chief DJ Granville has turned over documents to the Erie County DA's office for criminal prosecution. But even if they had, DA Mike Kane's office may not be able to dig into this because of a potential conflict of interest his office has with Granville's family, which has deep political ties. Kane's office confirmed to us that Kristen Granville, who is DJ Granville's sister-in-law and who is married to DJ Granville's brother, works for the Erie County DA's office as a legal secretary. Her husband, William Granville, is also on the county payroll as a sheriff's detective, making $112,000 last year. Kane's spokesperson says, quote, potential conflicts of interest are always evaluated to ensure that a thorough and impartial investigation is conducted. If there's a conflict of interest or any appearance of impropriety, our office can request that the court appoint a special prosecutor. She also says Kane did not learn about this until Tuesday, when our story about the crashes first aired. These are allegations that involve two of the biggest police agencies in this region. And we've talked with someone whose car was damaged who said this really damaged their trust in the law enforcement process. Are you concerned about that as DA, and is there anything that you'd like to say about this incident?
I don't comment on, potential pending investigations, Charlie.
Now, this entire matter has the potential to be politically explosive for multiple elected leaders because of Granville's political ties and campaign contributions. Some would like to see someone outside Western New York look into this, possibly State Attorney General Letitia James. A spokesperson for James says she is not involved at this point and would likely need a referral from the governor to investigate. Dave McKinley continues our team coverage. Dave.
Well, Charlie, Democrats and Republicans alike expressed chagrin over having learned of the incident involving Granville almost a year ago, only through recent television news reports which uncovered it. So now lawmakers will use subpoena powers to question Sheriff Garcia and DJ Granville, as well as the county comptroller, the county attorney, and county executive Mark Poloncarz, whose office ultimately approved $60,000 in settlements with those who had their cars damaged. On that note, lawmakers, while they were notified in November of the settlements, they're not subject to their approval, so they say they were never told what they were for, nor that they stemmed from an incident involving a high-ranking member of the Sheriff's Department driving a county-owned vehicle. Do you think that maybe things have to change where you would have to approve something, so they have to give you a little more information?
We should absolutely know that, and that report should be in greater detail of what that settlement was for and what were the circumstances surrounding that.
The chairman does, by charter, have the ability to subpoena, and that's an important one that we're going to need to use. Simply put, this incident doesn't pass the smell check, and it's our job to take a further look into it.
The resolution calling for the investigation was put forth by minority Republicans, but it also gained support from almost every member of the Democratic caucus. The only no vote came from legislator John Gilmore, a Democrat, who's also the attorney for the Buffalo Police Union. On your side, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.
Tonight. And the only one that said no was the attorney for the police union. Oh, my God. And you guys are okay with this in Buffalo. I don't know how you're not out with pitchforks and torches. I really don't. It just amazes me to death. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Put in the comments what you think about this. This just, like Leigh says, it doesn't smell or doesn't pass the smell test. Oh, yeah, it does. It smells like horse poo-poo. Yeah. Wow, what a mess. I'm going to try to keep up on this so we can figure out what's going to go on. Of course, we know that nothing will happen because the little boy in blue and his little teammates will cover him. That big blue shield they got. Wow, what a joke. Anyway, guys, remember, always record the police. Don't trust the police because they're not your friends. Have a good one. Be safe.